Okay, it's Sunday the 5th of July, and my accident was on the 30th, so first, second, third, fourth, 4.5 days since the accident, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2.5 days since I left hospital, because I left hospital on Thursday in the early evening. So where are we at? Well, there's a whole bunch of injuries. I'll start at the top because that's where the most important one is I was struck here as my head hit the car. There's a little bit of swelling, a little bit of marking, but not too much. But inside there's a bruise, there's a contusion, I think they call it, a brain contusion, which is considered to be a relatively mild brain injury. But the consequences of it are there's some potential bleeding and bruising in the brain matter. And the impact of that so far is that I feel kind of dizzy. I need reading glasses, so on this plane, something has to go beyond a certain distance before I can see it or read it without glasses. So for near distance, I need to have reading glasses. But the problem I've got now is that there's a misalignment between the left and the right. This is just the same as it was, but the left and the right, it's like the left and the right eye are not working in coordination. So if I turn my head to the left, and look out from my right eye, then everything is in focus as it normally has been. If I turn the other way, then I'm getting like double vision in the left eye. So when you put those together, it means that my focus on let's say a medium distance is unreliable now. So if I'm watching television, I'm having to turn my head to make this the more direct to the television, because if I look at it as I normally would, it's kind of blurred, which is really disconcerting. So that might take weeks or even months to completely rectify, but I suspect that might affect my balance a little bit as well, because I'm kind of feeling a little bit dizzy and disorientated, and my head is feels kind of thick and foggy. Foggy is the word I've used to a number of people who've asked the question. On the back of my head, I was twisted the neck, so they say it's a form of whiplash. So I can move my head to the left with care and to the right with care, but there comes a point in time where it becomes really painful all the way down here. So that's difficult to get used to, but you kind of adjust as in the day-to-day. I think I've broken, or the doctors think I've broken 3 ribs, 1, 2, and 3, or a combination of 3. I think between 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's really difficult if I cough, but fortunately it seems that it's up towards the armpit, so it doesn't affect my regular breathing, as if perhaps it was lower down in the rib cage. So that's really painful. It means I can't get in and out of a chair very easily at all. And if I cough or move to one side, it's really it still hurts. Both my elbows are very, very badly bruised. I'll put some pictures in this video. They're very badly bruised. Everything's turning dark purple now. So I kind of no idea where various parts of my body impacted the car and the ground, but there's really bad bruise on both sides. Working down, they thought that there was some bleeding possibly on the bowel and then the stomach, so I'm supposed to keep very close watch on whether there's any discomfort and pain in the stomach. In hospital I was getting kidney pain and lots of pain across the stomach. But fortunately it's not too bad at the moment, and there's no blood in the stool. I've just gone to the toilet yesterday for the first time since Tuesday morning, which is probably the drugs and also the lack of food. But so far so good in the stomach, although I'm still getting some pain as if it's been hit. On my left buttock, I've got a really bad bruise as well, so that's hit something hard. And in my coccyx, I've got like a more of a skin graze, which was bright red, but that's now settled down to more of a reddy brown. Seems to be getting better as well. My left leg, moving down, my left leg has got, on the inside, has got a huge bruise, and the doctors thought the leg was deformed and broken immediately following the accident. So that was put in a full leg brace, as my neck was put in a neck brace. That was put in a full leg brace. The swelling was absolutely terrible and painful. It's now purple all the way up my inner thigh to the center line of looking downwards from the front. Sore, still very sore, and gives me discomfort when I'm shuffling around because I can't really walk properly yet. I'm just still shuffling around. And on my right leg, I've got, in the same plane as the left leg, I've got a whack from the right hand side that again they thought it was broken, but in the x-ray they took when I was in the resuscitation unit, they identified it wasn't broken, but there's some skin grazing and so on and so forth. But that's still sore again now with with quite significant bruising and starting to go yellow in a large section of my lower right leg. My knee is causing me a real problem. There looks to be no direct tear of the ligaments, but the ligaments have all been sprained. So my leg must have gone out of alignment in the accident. Not surprising. But on the medial ligament on the inside, I recognize this from my previous skiing accident on my left leg, where my medial ligament on my left knee was affected. Left knee's fine, by the way, in this case. But on the right knee, I'm getting similar sort of pain. Not quite a tear, they tell me. And also down in, I think, in the cruciate ligament, and the tendons running down from my hamstrings onto the knee and the calves. It's sensitive, so that's a very weak area at the moment. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about how quickly that's going to recover, because soft tissue when ligaments takes a long time to recover. It means I can't really walk properly. I've not done any walking yet. I spent almost all of yesterday until the early evening in bed. Yeah, I can shuffle around a little bit. I can't bend the legs fully. The right leg is more difficult to bend than the left. Now the left leg was really bad immediately post accident, but it's getting a little bit better on the left side. But the right leg I can't bend properly. I'm a little bit dizzy, disorientated. I'm not all there. I can't do much at the computer. I'm scanning the iPad for bits of news here and there to try and keep myself occupied. There's no point in picking up a book because I don't think I'll be able to maintain the concentration, but hopefully that'll come back in the days to come. So I'm shuffling around the house as best I can, taking great care going up and down stairs. I've come downstairs this morning on Sunday because I'm feeling I didn't want to have a second full day in bed, but the truth is that I'm so tired. The temptation to lie down and have a nap is so strong, and that was the case in the hospital. In the 2 days and a bit I was in hospital, I slept a lot of the time, obviously very careful, because when I roll over in the bed, my knee gets out of the orientation where it's comfortable, and it gives a sharp shooting pain all the way up the leg. It's terrible. So if I can get the leg in a good position, I'm just wanting to rest So I'm really not doing anything at the moment. Obviously can't drive for a while yet. Certainly can't ride the bike. I can't imagine riding the bike again in July. So the plan to take the bike up to the Lake District for the last week of July for a holiday is definitely in jeopardy. The holiday itself might be in jeopardy, but we have to be optimistic that we should be able to get some sort of a holiday out of that. We were planning, Guy and I were planning to do the tour of Northumberland as part of his tour of Britain. I was joining him in Haltwhistle, and we're just putting the finishing touches to the plan. Accommodation has been booked by Guy, and that was going to start in the second week of August, but I'm not going to be able to ride and be strong enough to be able to cope with that ride now. So even though I might be on my bike by early mid-August, I won't be in the condition that I expected to be, possibly until later this summer, or if at all this summer. So I've been working really hard in the last few weeks to try and get my fitness up, build up my muscle strength, pushing slightly further distances if I can, taking on more hills, gradually building up the strength and doing more and more miles, because I normally don't ride in the winter because of the weather, and also the conditions are a bit dangerous sometimes. So I like to try and ride and get the miles in the summer, but it looks like my taking a big setback, and my target of 2,000 miles this year, or 2,020 miles, is not going to happen, not unless I'm back on the bike in August and I ride into the winter this side of Christmas. So my cycling season is it's been massively disrupted. It's massively disrupted now. My strength's not going to be there. I'm just not going to get the miles in. So given that it's the thing that I spend most of my time doing in the summer months, I'm gutted. So it's one of these things that I have to put into context and just try and get better as best as I possibly can. But that's where we are on Sunday, the 5th. I'll talk about what I recall about the accident in another video, but that's it for the time being.